Well, hello there, and welcome to a pre-recorded and abbreviated version of Chuck's Captivating Chat, my Monday live stream show. I wanted to have a little something for you today. Hopefully, most of you out there are celebrating the holidays with your families or doing something special for yourself. I hope it has been a good day for me. Very simple, very low key. I'm just here with my cat, Sasha, who's off in another room somewhere. I would have her on camera right now, but she more or less determines when that's going to happen. And sometimes Sasha does not want to be photographed. She's not in the mood. Little Siamese princess, descended from Siamese royalty. And I have DNA proof of that. The breeder I got Sasha from actually has DNA proof that Sasha descended from the original Siamese cats that were brought over from old Siam to America. They were brought to America and Europe around the same time in the mid 1800s. So that's kind of cool. But believe me, my cat knows she's from royalty. She never lets me forget it. So I thought, what am I going to do on my abbreviated little show today? And while this is not related to Christmas necessarily, yesterday, December 24th, was the birthday of Ava Gardner. And I believe it would have been her 101st. I thought, well, it's an opportunity for me to show some of my artwork. As you know, I'm a professional artist. This is a portrait that I did of Ava Gardner at the peak of her career and her beauty. Magnificent woman. And I read her autobiography a number of years ago. At the end of the book, she put an open letter to her former husband, Artie Shaw. And it was, I'm going to paraphrase this because I don't have the book anymore. And I tried to find the open letter. I couldn't even find it online, but I never forgot it. It was very touching. It was something to the effect of, "Dear Artie, I don't know where you are. Wherever you are in the world, I hope that this message gets to you." And it was a one-page letter where she was expressing her gratitude to Artie Shaw for all he had done to enrich her life. It was Artie who helped to educate Ava. She said herself when she met Artie Shaw, the only book she had ever read was Gone with the Wind. Well, Artie introduced her to literature, art, classical music, psychology. He enrolled her in classes at UCLA. He had her reading authors like Sinclair Lewis. He even insisted on her taking an IQ test, which confirmed that she was an extremely intelligent woman, just poorly educated. So Artie stepped up to the bat to do that for her. And these many years later, I believe the autobiography was published posthumously. She was dying when she wrote the book. And so she clearly wanted to say this to Artie. She didn't even know how to reach him at the time, but she just wanted him to know how grateful she was for how much he had enriched her life. Well, flash forward, I was very good friends with the actress Evelyn Keyes, the 1940s movie star from Columbia Pictures. Evelyn was another wife of Artie Shaw. In fact, she was the last of, I think it was 8 wives he had. She was the last of them. And I told Evelyn about the letter in the back of Ava Gardner's book. And Evelyn said, "Oh my goodness, that's so sweet." And she said, "Artie did the same thing for me." That is so Artie Shaw to do that. And she said, "Oh my God, oh dear sweet Ava. Dear sweet Ava." Evelyn was touched by that. I said, "Well, Evelyn," because I knew Evelyn, even though she had been divorced from Artie Shaw, they still maintained a friendship and still got together from time to time. And I asked Evelyn if Artie had ever seen the letter in the back of Ava Gardner's book. And she said, "Well, I don't know, but I'll ask him." Well, she got back to me a few days later and she said, "Well, Artie is claiming no, he never did see it." So at the time when I had the book, I gave my book to Evelyn Keyes. I said, take this to Artie Shaw and let him read this. Now, how Artie responded, Evelyn didn't tell me because, she wanted to protect his privacy, but she did deliver it to Artie. So, in my little roundabout way, I helped to deliver Ava Gardner's final message to Artie Shaw via Evelyn Keyes. So that's my little story. That's a chance for me to show my artwork and tell a personal story. And I thought, well, what's the other thing here I can talk about? Now, I already did a video about this, but I'll include it here as well because it is Christmas Day. And I always promise a Lucille Ball story on this show. And this is actually my all-time favorite. I saved it purposely for Christmas. I made a video. I'm just going to repeat it again here. It was a story told by Lucille Ball's close friend, Ava Martin. And it's a true story. It's called A Lucille Ball Christmas Story. Santa was a redhead. And it's true. I'm just going to read it from my iPad here. It was the day before Christmas, 4, maybe 5 years ago. The phone rang and it was Lucy. I got something to do, Lucy said, and I want you to help me. So 10 minutes later, Lucy pulled up and she picked me up and we headed for a Christmas tree lot. Well, Lucy bought a Christmas tree. It was a real beauty. And then we went shopping. Lucy bought all sorts of pretty knickknacks, plus hand lotion, body lotion, dusting powder, shampoo, and perfume. Basically everything dear to the feminine heart. And also practical. Now that was very Lucy, very practical. And then we went to a gourmet food store and picked out all sorts of hors d'oeuvres. I had no idea what we were doing and she did not explain. We went to another store and bought Christmas tree lights and decorations. Well, by now the car was stuffed with trimmings and presents and smelling beautifully of pine when we headed for downtown Hollywood. We stopped finally in front of an apartment building. Well, this is where I need a little help, Lucy said. So between the two of us, we carried up the tree, the packages, and we knocked on the door. And it took a little while before the lady opened it. And she was pale, obviously very ill, and without hope. She was Lillian Goodman, who years before was a well-known vocal coach to many of the top stars. And Lucy had been one of them. Now Lillian had become ill and life had lost its meaning. What are you doing? She asked as we came in lugging all the stuff. Well, what do you think we're doing? Demanded Lucy. We're going to decorate your tree. And which is what they then proceeded to do. And I'll never forget that afternoon as long as I live because the memory of it is so touching. Lillian Goodman sat there and her face began to change, to smile, and tears were rolling down her cheeks. But they were happy tears. And as I said on my video, that was just so typical of Lucy. Living here in LA, and working with Bart Andrews once on a book about I Love Lucy, I got to meet a lot of the people associated with I Love Lucy, Lucy Show, Here's Lucy, people who knew Lucy as a friend and people who worked with Lucy. And I kept hearing over and over these marvelous stories of how generous and giving she was and how she treated people like her own family. A lot of people like to denigrate Lucy, talk about, she was such a bitch and how difficult and all that. But usually those are the people who did not meet Lucy's standards. Lucy was a taskmaster. She was a perfectionist. When she was working, she pushed herself very hard, but she expected the same from others. And when others fell short, she would be tough. So those are the people who tend to put Lucy down. But the people Lucy really loved and counted on, she was as loyal as anybody could ever be. And I just wanted to share this story because it's one that's always touched my heart. because I love Lucille Ball so much, and I hear from you out there that you do too. And by the way, thank you for all the comments you've been writing to me. I'm loving getting to know all of you individually, and please just keep making your suggestions to me, like topics you'd like me to talk about, videos you'd like me to make. I've got a wealth of stories about old Hollywood. That's my big passion for anybody who wants to pick my brain, wants to hear about it. And certainly I've done tons and tons of research on I Love Lucy, Lucille Ball. God, that's why I have so many stories to tell. That's why I have a story every week for you. So anyway, thank you so much. I started on this adventure about 6 months ago, and I'm loving it, and it's proving so rewarding to my life, and I can't wait to see where we go in the year 2024. So I wish all of you the happiest of holidays. And please like and subscribe my channel, Chuck's Captivating Chronicles. Thank you.